The biggest, most powerful fast food chain in the world with one of the best marketing strategies ever. The name we all know, McDonald's. That feeling of familiarity, of comfort, of warmth, that is what McDonald's has successfully marketed over the years to become one of the most recognizable and ubiquitous brands in the world. But what is the secret of their seemingly eternal success? Well, let's take a look at some of the ways that McDonald's has continued to be a marketing heavyweight in a total global scale. McDonald's began its meteoric rise all the way back in the 40s in San Bernardino, California, when the two brothers, Maurice and Richard McDonald's, created a restaurant where they sold burgers, fries, and milkshakes. When a salesman by the name of Ray Kroc noticed that this tiny hamburger stand at the edge of the desert had ordered no less than 8 multi-mixers, which was enough to make 40 milkshakes at a time, he became curious. And that is where the rise of McDonald's began. This was in 1954, and Kroc was about to make the journey that would make McDonald's brand into the international powerhouse it is today. The McDonald's brothers had made the restaurant successful in its own right, but they were humble, and the most ostentatious thing they ever did with the wealth they accumulated was to purchase a new Cadillac each year. Then Kroc came into the picture and elevated the whole thing into an entire different realm. He introduced the idea of franchises, which helped the business grow really quickly, but allowed corporate to maintain control over the quality and the standard. As such, the franchises were selected and trained by the central organization, and this ensured the customer's experience was consistent everywhere. But what really contributed to the financial success of the corporation was that McDonald's would buy the properties where the restaurants were located and then lease them back to the franchises, thus becoming their landlord. As well as an income that the company makes from a percentage of the franchise's sales, they also make a solid income from the building itself. With over 36,000 restaurants in more than 100 countries, McDonald's is arguably one of the most successful brands on the planet. At almost 70 years old, this company is no young, fresh enterprise, but it keeps moving forward and making staggering profits year after year. Over the last 5 years, the stock price of McDonald's has more than doubled, and the revenue keeps on growing. The magic that McDonald's has managed to encapsulate is the ability to keep moving with the time, but to also give its customers a sense of familiarity. As a business that was founded on the tenets of efficiency, consistency, and affordability, McDonald's has stood true to its principle, but has also continued to innovate. The company has used a whole range of marketing techniques to maintain its iron grip on its market dominance and keep customers coming back time and time again. At the core of McDonald's strategy is the way its operations and marketing work together to serve the needs of the customer. From the very beginning, the operational excellence has been at the forefront of every campaign. This means that when you go to McDonald's anywhere in the world, you will have the specific experience. The food will be what you expect. It is standardized to meet the expectations of the customer. This has always been the case. From the early days when Ray Kroc was involved in the proceedings, he worked obsessively on the details, down to the fact that each hamburger patty would be precisely 3.875 inches across and would weigh 1.6 ounces. The craziest detail might be that the Big Mac bun would have an average of 178 sesame seeds. Who's counting? Well, it seems as if someone has, because this fastidious level of quality control is one of the things that keep customers hooked. It is why when you order a Big Mac in Bangkok, Thailand, it tastes the same as if you would order one in Buffalo, New York. McDonald's not only offers its standard menus wherever you may go, but it also is extremely well versed in adapting to the market of each nation. This is why you will find specific items on menus that cater to the tastes of nations as well as all the classic. In Malaysia, you can order a dish named bubur ayam, which is basically a kind of savory porridge with chicken, green onions, ginger, and chili. In Canada, you can order poutine, which is made from fries, gravy, and cheese curd. In Saudi Arabia, you can order Mak Arabia chicken, which is made of 2 halal grilled chicken patties served with a flatbread with lettuce, tomato, onion, and garlic sauce. And the list goes on and on. This particular marketing is known as geographic segmenting. This is something at which McDonald's truly excels at. They use the region, the country, the population, and the climate to inform the sorts of experience that they offer to consumers in different parts of the world. Many of the additional items on the menu are created by the franchises themselves. They are then approved by the McDonald's and often rolled out across regional areas to serve like-minded customers. In fact, many of the old school items on the classic menu began this very way. The filet of fish was an invention of a franchise in the Catholic Quarter of the Cincinnati during the Lent time of 1959. In 1961, he took the idea to corporate, and after a trial in select locations, the filet of fish eventually became a staple on the menu of McDonald's in restaurants in 1965. As well as an obsessive level of consistency, McDonald's empire is remarkably good in its use of 4 P's of marketing, which is product, price, place, and promotion. The McDonald's product strategy has always been an essential component to its marketing. I mean, if people didn't love the product, then it would be difficult to sell all of those burgers and fries. So they have honed this great product. They have standardized the production, and then they have continued to diversify their menu to move with the local taste and different dietary preferences. In addition to all the good stuff that McDonald's offers, they have also really established a pricing strategy that makes McDonald's available to most types of people on most budgets. They emphasize affordability and maintain a section of their menu that is devoted to basic, that are budget conscious. They also make use of promotions and have these incorporated in their regular menu with things like their money-saving combos or movie tie-ins with Happy Meal toys. They have also been responsible for slightly weirder promotional campaigns, like when they gave away free coffee beans in the streets to promote their beverages in store. The next P is placement. And this is something at which McDonald's has typically excelled at ever since its inception. Way back in the 1940s, the McDonald brothers placed their first restaurant in pretty decent spots and made sure that their signage and their building were bright, clean, and welcoming. And this is essentially how they've continued to function ever since. Then, of course, there are the Golden Arches. The symbol that is famous around the world was introduced for the first time in 1961. It was after this that the branding of the company really began to take shape. The original arches were designed by an architect named Stanley Mason. They were inspired by the distinct shape of the early restaurants. By the 1970s, the arches became the standalone M that we see today. The move was a moment of significant change as they moved into a global market and the company was shifting into creating a universally recognizable brand. This simple logo epitomized the familiarity and simplicity that McDonald's were attempting to associate with the brand. The Golden Arches have seen a certain amount of styling and refining over the decades since, but this logo is one of the most immediately familiar to people, as well as the company's iconic logo. It has also been responsible for some extremely memorable advertising campaigns. These can be memorable because people love them or hate them, but the goal is to make people remember McDonald's, and they are certainly achieving that either way. As their year have come by, McDonald's had a dizzying array of advertising campaigns, from Ronald McDonald's based Kids Fun in the 1980s to the more family-focused advertisements in the 90s. Each campaign has emphasized that McDonald's is for everyone at any time. The I'm Loving It campaign was launched back in 2003 and it continues today. It is a simple message, but it has reportedly been absorbed into the cultural dialogue, and this is a crucial element of all McDonald's marketing strategies over the years. They have used customer behavior theory since the earliest days to determine and anticipate the needs and preferences of their customer. This allows the campaigns they use to touch on the things that influence customer decision making, to use psychology to influence the perception and attitude of customers, and to adapt its own strategy to include the motivations and changing the customer needs into a mix of marketing. Alongside this psychological aspect, there is a constant drive for innovation, and in recent years they have shifted a focus on marketing that they call to their 3 Ds. These are drive-through, delivery, and digital. They are bringing the customers the same great product and service in new and forward-looking ways, meeting the modern customer where they are and making that as simple as possible seems to be the key. Ultimately, what has allowed McDonald's to continue to grow over almost 7 decades is the fact that the brand has prioritized consistency in its product and service, whilst allowing space to adapt and innovate with the time. The pandemic of 2020 altered the landscape of, well, everything. And McDonald's felt the disruption of the uncertainty as much as everyone else during that time. But they used this as an opportunity to change alongside their customers. And during that tough challenge that people faced, this resonated and served as a way to draw people towards the brand, as a constant and reassuring presence in times of upheaval. This strategy seems to have been successful as McDonald's continued to grow at a remarkable rate in the years that have followed. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really craving another burger right now. Let me know what you think about McDonald's and their marketing in the comments, and let me know what is the next marketing story you would like to hear from me. Subscribe and please click right over here to watch an insane story about Coca-Cola's marketing. Until next time, take care.